Hello everyone, welcome to ConceptsEra. Today we are going to discuss another caselet based upon number system. As we have seen in previous three caselettes, these questions are based upon logic and logic is forte for us. So let's begin and decode the logic behind this particular caselet. I request you to try out this question your own, pause this particular video here and have proper understanding of this particular question. You should not be fearing faltering in this particular question because we are anyway there to help you out and make you understand this question thoroughly. So let's begin to understand this question. First of all, 6 characters involved here and they have been judged by 4 judges. And then it is given to us, these judges are rating them between 1 and 6. Depending upon their performance. So the person they will like the most, they will rate 6, and the person they will like the least, they will rate 1, and other numbers will definitely lie between 1 and 6. So what we can see from here, some information is there which we will decode, and some table is given which is partially filled, so we have to fill this particular table. And from this information which is here, we understood these numbers for each judge will lie between 1 and 6. And over that, there are 4 questions, easy ones. When you will fill this particular table, you are able to solve these questions very easily. Let's begin and put these 6 points and this particular table in better manner. So here we go. We have 6 points here and 1 partially filled table, and ultimately we have to fill this particular table with the use of given 6 points. If you look at the first point, they are saying Chandan received a different rating for each judge, and this holds true for remaining people also. That means this particular rows will be having different numbers. Everybody is getting different rating from the judges. Now see information 2. For each Chandan, Monica and Rachel, rating received by 4 judges were in AP. That means these numbers here and these numbers for Monica and these numbers for Rachel will be in AP. So these numbers are given to us in AP. And information 3, they are saying sum of 4 ratings received by Chandan, Monica, Rachel were also in AP. That means this and this particular sum will also be in AP. Now it is also given to us with a common difference of 4. That means these numbers are happening in the gap of 4 and 4. Now when we are having first 3 information, what we can decode from here? As we know, each one will be having different rating from each judge. So minimum possible score by anybody will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is equal to 10. And maximum possible score by anybody will be 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3, which is equal to 18. That means numbers will lie between 10 and 18. And as we know, for C, M and Rachel, we are having summation in AP with a common difference of 4. Now when minimum is 10 and maximum is 18 and we are having common difference of 4 with 3 numbers, then we can immediately say these numbers has to be 10, 14 and 18. Other numbers are not possible here. But we do not know now 10 will go to which person, 14 will go to which person, and finally 18 will go to which person. So for that we have to move further and look at the information number 5. The rating received by Chandan from J2, that means this one, Monica from J4, that means this one, and Rachel from J3, that means this one, are same. So these ratings are same. If we look these numbers and we are looking for these ratings are same, we can say 4 is not possible because numbers has to be different. 6 is also not possible and 1 is also not possible. So 4, 6 and 1 cannot be these common numbers. So what are the possible cases? So see here, this one and this one. If you see these two, in this 4 cannot be common for sure. We can remove 4, and 6 cannot be common, and 1 cannot be common. Now if you look at these two numbers, between these two numbers, what numbers are common? Which we can see from here, only 3 is common here. So we can write down this number for sure has to be 3, and similarly we can say this also has to be 3, and finally this number has to be 3. And after filling this particular table, then things became slightly easy to solve and easy to understand. Why is it so? Because it is given to us, these numbers are in AP. So when these numbers are in AP, and we know common difference between 3 and 4 is 1. So what numbers we can put at J3? The number which we can put at J3 has to be 5 here. Otherwise you cannot create an AP. So when this number is 5, total we can say has to be 18 here. Now similarly, if you look at Monica, we can see from here it is given to us in information 6, Monica received higher rating from J3 than whatever she received from J2. That means this number has to be greater than this number. Now if you see 1 and 3 is already here, and this number has to be an AP, and common difference is 2 here now. So if I take remaining two numbers, the common difference of 2, then those numbers has to be 5 and 7 respectively. But 5 and 7 I cannot take, because 7 nobody can get from these judges. So maximum is given to us 6, so I cannot take 7 here. So immediately we can understand that means common difference cannot be 2, common difference has to be 1. And when you are saying common difference has to be 1 and J3 is more than J2, so what numbers can be put here? 2 and 4. So these numbers are also fixed, and when these numbers are fixed, we can see summation is given to us 10 here. That means whatever number is left out, which is a Rachel one, this summation has to be 14. So now if you see Rachel, summation has to be 14 here as we decoded, and 4 and 3 is given to us. That means 7 is given to us. That means remaining 7 we have to distribute. And as we already know, these numbers, that means this particular row, this and this, these 4 numbers has to be an AP. And when these numbers has to be an AP and 4 and 3 common difference is given to us 1, I can take 5, 6, which is not possible here because summation cannot be 7. So if summation is given to us 7, then what numbers can be taken here are 5 and 2. So only these two numbers we can take to make sure this particular row is in AP. Now when you got to know where you're supposed to put 2 and where you're supposed to put 5, you can see from here 2 cannot come here because 2 is already here. So we can fix here, this number has to be 5 and this number has to be 2 here. Now after fixing this much value, you know always these questions becomes very easy. And at least half of the question from the given case you can solve because we have filled this particular table at least half. Now see here, if we move further, it is given to us summation of J, P and R also in AP with a common difference of 1. It means these numbers has to be in the format of A minus 1, A and A plus 1 for sure. Now what we can understand from here, every number from 1 to 6 is occurring 4 times because these ratings have been given by 4 judges. So these numbers from 1 to 6 will occur exactly 4 times. So summation of total ratings we can say from here has to be 4 into 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, which comes out to be 84. So summation of all the ratings is given to us 84. Now if I am looking for summation of the ratings of J, P and Ross, it has to be total summation minus summation of ratings of C, M and Rachel. and that we know total is 84, and summation of these three is 18 plus 10 plus 14, which comes out to be 42. So we have to subtract 42 from here. So summation of remaining people J, P and Ross has to be 42. And we can see from here, summation of these ratings are in AP. That means if I do summation of these numbers A minus 1, A and A plus 1, this summation should be equal to 42 for sure. So we can write down from here 3A is equal to 42. So A has to be 14. So we got to know what numbers will be here. And these numbers we know has to be 13, 14 and 15. Now let's move further and fill this particular table quite fast. Now if you see J2 Ross, if you see J2 Ross, the possible numbers which we can put here are 1, 4 and 6. If I put 4 here at this particular position, if I put 4 here, that means at these two places I cannot put 4. And if you look at this particular row, the numbers which are left out are 6 and 1. So either 6 will come here or 1 will come here for sure. Similarly, if you look at this particular row, we can see the numbers which are left out are 1, 2 and 6. So if I write down here 1, 2 and 6. Let's see what are the possible summations we can get here if I say Ross received 4 from J2. So this comes out to be 5 plus 4. Plus we have to see either it can be 1 or 6, or this can be 2, 6, this can be 2, 1 and finally this can be 6, 1. Now summation of first comes out to be 16, which is not possible because summation should lie among 13, 14 and 15. Similarly, summation of this we can say comes out to be 12, which is also not possible. Summation of this comes out to be 17, also not possible. And finally, summation of this comes out to be 16, which is also not possible. So these summations are not possible. That means I cannot take 4 here. So when we cannot take 4 here, we can immediately say this number has to be either 1 or 6. So when this number is given to us 1 and 6, now 1 and 6 cannot come now in J3. Because if 1, 6 is already here, either 1 or 6, then this number has to be either 6 or 1. Because only 2 numbers are left out in this particular column. So these are anyway has to be 6 or 1. And when we fix this number cannot be 4, so 1, 6 are only possible number here. So when this is 1, 6, then this number has to be 6, 1. And immediately we can say from here, then 1, 6 cannot come here, then this number has to be 2. So when we got to know this number is 2, now we can move further and we can write down the summation of Ross. So summation of Ross comes out to be 14 here. So we have used 14. Now what summations are left out? Only 13 and 15 are left out. Now if you move further and look at what numbers can come here, we can see when 6, 1 is here, then 1, 6 has to be here. So we have fixed this particular number also. Now we can see, as we know, only 1, 6 is left out in this particular column. So when 1, 6 is left out in this particular column, and we know when 1, 6 is here in J4, then this number has to be 6 or 1. Now we know in this particular place 3 cannot come, 2 cannot come, 5 cannot come, 1 cannot come and 6 cannot come. So what number can come at this particular place? We can see it has to be 4 here. So we fix this particular number also. Now summation we can look into 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 1, 13. Now table is almost done because we know this summation, this particular summation has to be 15. Number which is left out. Now what we can fix here? 6, 1, we do not know what number will come here, as well as we do not know what number will come here. So 1, 6. So this is the whole table which we can fix here. So So you can see how easy it was to fill this particular table when you have to use given information in a certain pattern. Now when you have done with this particular table, let's move further and look at questions here. Now if you see the question number 1, what was the maximum possible score? We can say this number has to be 18. Similarly, they're asking what was the sum of 4 ratings received by Roche? We can say this has to be 14. What was the rating received by Monica from J4? They're looking for Monica from J4, which we know it is given to us 3. This has to be 3. And last question, what was the rating received by Jackie from J2? And Jackie J2, if we look into, then we are not able to decide. So answer for this question will be either 1 or 6. So these are the correct answers for this particular question. So I hope you understood how we're supposed to approach these kind of the questions till now, because till now we have discussed close to 4 questions. So keep learning with us. We will help you at every level in terms of improving your LRDI section. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.